First and foremost, want to give all praise to you, how by Shimmy Awashai Barakathon. Hold on one second. Barakathon, and give us a cell green to all the brothers and sisters scattered across the four corners, teaching this word with sincerity and charity. I'm Brother Phineas, coming to you with another short video, short lesson, so you can get an idea. And this is going to be a great video to show how the Most High works through people. This is going to give you an example, and this is going to help you so that you don't overlook certain messages, that you don't overlook certain messengers that are sent to you, and that you find your purpose, that you don't miss out on your purpose and your assignment that the Most High has for you. And you may need that message. Okay, this message could be dire, and you overlook this thing because of how you view the messenger. All right, so this is going to be a short video. We're about to watch. It's only about 2.5 minutes. Just sit through it. I'm telling you, this is going to be very powerful, okay?
Check this out. About 6 months ago, I was flying down Nebraska. I was in the Uber. And I seen probably about 9, 10 different prostitutes out there. And I told the Uber driver, hey man, pull this bitch over. He's like, oh no. And I'm like, man, chill, man, I'm gonna break you off. And I scanned through about 5 prostitutes. And I stepped back down on one, and I looked right her in the eyes. And I said, take your power back. She said, Papa, what? I said, yeah. I said, take your power back. She said, why you pass them? And came to me. So, you know, I'm new at this. I said, man, don't, to myself, I'm saying, don't make it no harder on me than what it is. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. So she said, can I use your phone? Because I ain't talked to my dad in about a year. And I know his number. Now, when I looked at her, she looked like she probably had about 3 different strands of corona on her ass. For real talk. But I unlocked my phone, and by the time I know, I had already gave it to her, right? She said, could you wait? She talked to her daddy. She said, could you wait for him? I said, no, I'm in the Uber, so I got to go. And her daddy, I didn't know what happened, but whatever the case is. And her dad called me the other day because it was my phone that she called him from when we was out there. So he had my number. And he said, after 17 years, walking the streets, black eyes, selling her body, drugs. She said it wasn't nothing more powerful than the dude who told her to take her life back. He said she checked herself in rehab and doing good. And I was going, how could you use somebody so broken? I broke my motherfucking self. But still, I was able to provoke somebody else to do better for themselves, man. And I thank God for being able to use me. Thank you. For something other than the shit that I used to do. Divine alignment.
All right, so you've seen this powerful video, man, this powerful testimony, and you like, wow, man, the Most High used this brother to, you know what I'm saying, to get this woman cleaned up. But it was really vice versa. All right, if you're real spiritual, you'll see that this thing is really vice versa. That the Most High actually used this woman to clean his brother up. You know what I'm saying, to refine this vessel that he's going to eventually use. You know what I'm saying? But that was just part of the refining process. Eventually he'll probably run into 2 or 3 or more counters like that. And then he, you know what I'm saying, definitely start letting a couple of those strongholds that he's dealing with, because he's still dealing with a few strongholds. He'll let those things go. He'll shred those things off of him and be a powerful vessel for the Most High. It'd have a powerful testimony. But that woman was placed there. That spirit jumped on him to talk to that woman, to give him to show him that the Most High is working through him, to show him his purpose. And this is what I'm telling you. You got to understand these things. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand these things that, yeah, the woman gets cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the woman gets cleaned up and she gets helped. But also, and more importantly, we have a brother that's turning, that's making that turn. That's making that turn, that's shedding off that old man and beginning to walk in his purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably was sitting there crying 45. I already know because I've been through it. He's probably been sitting there crying for an hour and a half, grateful for the Most High to bring him through, going through all the testimonies, going through all the times he should have been dead. And, and he thinks about this testimony, like, you know what, let me cut this camera on and tell her that thing just start burning inside of him. And he had to bring this thing out. And it's a very powerful testimony. And even, with me even speaking on it today, and maybe somebody else grabbing the video and speaking on it, this thing can be a powerful testimony throughout the world. But hopefully, we could just start with Israel, just being a powerful testimony through Israel. So it wasn't necessarily the woman, but it was actually my brother. The woman was placed there to give my brother the confidence and increase the spirit in my brother, for him to understand that God is working through him, that God is, even using him and will use him. And so we see this also in the in John chapter 9. If you read John chapter 9 and verse 1, you'll see them encounter, and I'm just going to paraphrase this thing just for time purposes. You'll see them encounter a blind man, and the disciples asked him, why, this man was born blind. Was it because his parents sinned, or was it because he sinned in the afterlife? And this shows you the level of thinking that they had when they dealt with reincarnation, or they dealt with you taking on the transgressions of your fathers or of your parents. But that's another subject. But they asked the Messiah, they asked Christ that. And Christ responded that neither of those were the reasons. The reason was for him to manifest the works of God, for him to show, because this is one of the, this event was one of the one of a few messianic miracles. We'll talk about another one right after this. That this blind man, nobody ever healed somebody that was born blind. You had sorcerers and magicians who had done heal people that were actually blind and can cure that. But no one could ever heal somebody that was born blind. Okay. And so you'll see throughout the text, Christ will tell the people not to tell. So he'll heal somebody and tell them, don't say nothing. And then in some cases, he'll tell them and say, go over there and tell the priest what happened. You know what I'm saying? So this was one of those instances where he healed this blind person that was born blind, and that right there was going to help the people to see that he is the Messiah, that he is truly the Messiah. All right, that he's truly the Messiah, that he's truly sent from the Most High. And this is why this person was born blind. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand how the Most High works. We know that Isaiah 55:8, his ways are not our ways. His way of thinking is above our thinking. But you can look in the text and see how he actually works. So he will make somebody blind. He will make somebody a crackhead. He will make somebody a prostitute. All right? He will kill somebody. And we'll see this in Lazarus. I know you're like, oh, man, you kill somebody. But if you go to John chapter 11, start at verse 42, we talk about Lazarus. For most, and most of us are familiar with the story of Lazarus. But, Christ knew that, Lazarus was dead. And he still stayed and waited a few days before he went. And this, again, one of the messianic miracles. Nobody had healed somebody after they had been dead for over 3 days. And so he waited for Lazarus to be dead for 3 days before he went over there to resurrect him. All right, again, another messianic miracle. in a renowned miracle that set off, you know what I'm saying, and spreaded his name, exalted his name throughout, throughout that land. And he says, you'll note too, that when that if you go in and read this, man, it says about John 11 through verse 42 through maybe like 47. He says, "Thank you, Lord." You know what I'm saying? He says he thanks the Father for hearing him. All right, and he thanks the Father for hearing him, and he says it out loud, and he tells the Most High, like, listen, I just said this out loud for them. I didn't say it out loud for me. Or I already know that you hear me. I already know that you hear me every time, but I just said this out loud so that they could know that you're working through me, and that you do hear my prayers, and you do I am working your will. I am doing your will. And so that they could believe in the Messiah, that their faith could even grow more. And this what this comes down to, is establishing one's faith. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things that brothers and sisters go through, that's going to and being brought out of, that's and seeing other people being brought out of, that establishes one's faith. And so we Lazarus was killed and left in that tomb. Yeah, he was healed. Yeah, he was healed, but that healing, he was used to exalt the name of the Messiah, and ultimately exalt the name of the Father. Okay, and then ultimately increasing the faith of his disciples, understanding that he is the true Son of God. And you're going to go through these things, and you're going to run into certain messengers that may not fit the part, may not look the way you expect a messenger to look. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be mindful and be careful about who you sending away, and who you taking your message from, because a lot of times we want to take our messages from people that are that's shining. You know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of the preachers are driving the Bentleys and wearing the nice clothes and in the luxurious cars. Some of them may not even like that stuff, but they know that's the only way you're going to hear the message. That's the only way you're going to respect them. All right, you're not going to respect the message. It's going to be hard for you to hear the message from somebody that's meek, from somebody that's in a lowly estate. And this is why, you have the Isaiah 53, showing that Christ was nothing to look at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all are going to deny Christ, going to deny the Messiah, because he wasn't 6'3" and tall, dark, and handsome. Because he came back and he was 5'4" and short with a humpback and a long face. You're like, that can't be the Messiah. And so a lot of y'all gonna miss y'all messages because it comes from recovering crack addicts, because it comes from recovering drug dealers, or it comes from the prostitutes, etc. But you don't know who the Most High uses. And this right here, I did this video to help one to understand how the Most High operates and how he uses individuals, so that you won't miss a certain message that may be sent to you. All right, I hope this thing was edifying to the body. Y'all be blessed. Shalom.